In this video, we leave Hue behind and head further south to Hoi An, a tourist city with more tourists than locals. Along the way, we stopped at the Lap An Lagoon to view the fishermen, then go over the Hoi An mountain pass onto Hoi An, where we visit the Fujian Assembly Hall and walk around town. In the evening, we visit a lantern-making shop and see the nightlife. The following day, we take a boat ride on the Thu Bon River and then transfer to a round boat called a coracle and sample some water coconut. Heading south on a wet and windy morning for a couple of hours, we stopped at the Lap An Lagoon for a break. This is a brackish water lagoon located near the Hoi An mountain range, covering an area of approximately 71 square kilometers. Lap An Lagoon is formed by rivers, streams, and the sea, hence the brackish water that supports a diverse range of flora and fauna. This lagoon is the largest oyster farm in the Lang Ko Bay. There you can see a boat loaded with mesh nets where oysters are placed to mature in the water. Continuing on our journey south, we went over the Hoi An Pass, which means Ocean Cloud Pass. This is an approximate 21-kilometer long mountain pass road on National Route 1. It crosses the Annamite Range near the border of Da Nang and Hue. Its name refers to the mists that rise from the sea. Historically, the pass was a physical division between the kingdoms of Champa and Dai Viet from 1306 until the Vietnamese Invasion War in 1471. Coming down the other side of the pass, we enter the city of Da Nang. Here we are, making the turn to cross the famous Dragon Bridge over the Han River. Construction of the bridge began in 2009, and the bridge was opened to the traffic in 2013. It's not only greatly aesthetic, it's structurally functional too. Here we are, coming to the end of the bridge and the Dragon Head. Arriving in Hoi An, we stayed at the Riverside Impression Villa, a small, family-run boutique hotel. It had a koi pond in front of the hotel and a smallish swimming pool located partially under some of the rooms. So this is the room I have in Hoi An. It's really nice. And here is the bathroom. Only one light working. I have to see if there's a way to turn on the second light, or this is it. It's very nice. We're spending 2 days here. This is a view from my room. Those coconuts up there look so inviting, except they're in the neighbor's property. Crossing the bridge, we enter the tourist center of Hoi An. This statue shows an old man teaching youngsters about the handicrafts of Hoi An. He is not Ho Chi Minh. Fujian Assembly Hall was built around 1690 and functioned as a traditional assembly hall for the Chinese ethnic group from the Chinese province of Fujian. They came here to socialize, but later this place was transformed into a temple dedicated to the deity named Tien Hao, the goddess of the sea who protects sailors from danger. Its ornate gate and colorful courtyard with fountains make the temple very photogenic. The main hall is the biggest room, where lies a shrine and many carved dragons. Behind the central altar are the god of prosperity and the figures of the goddess of fertility. Not only does the temple concentrate on the worshipping of goddess Tian Hao, but also other influential gods and goddesses in the Fujian people's belief, which is reflected in several murals, lacquered boards, and paintings. Throughout the temple there are statues, bronze drums, bronze bells, and horizontal lacquered boards engraved with Chinese characters. The whole combination and arrangement of every element in the hall tends to imply the Chinese philosophy of happiness. Those conical structures you see hanging from the ceiling are conical incense rings, and some of them can burn for up to 30 days. This Polish man worked with UNESCO to help restore many of the buildings in Hoi An after the war. This beautiful old lady was selling clay models of animals of the Chinese zodiac. If you look closely, they have holes in them because they are also whistles. As I said, there are more tourists here than locals. Street vendors try to entice you to buy stuff that you don't really need. Look at the matching shirt and dress, probably made in Hoi An overnight. Hoi An is famous for handmade lanterns and custom-made clothing and leather goods such as shoes, handbags, and briefcases. Even spectacles. All can be made by the next day if ordered early enough the previous day. At night, the town has a different look, with everything being lit up with multicolored lanterns. We stopped at a family-owned lantern-making shop.
So let I show you like this. We made this lantern from bamboo, and then we cover it with silk. We have a many different shape of lantern, and we call it different name. You can see this one. The first one, the big on top, it look like hot air balloon. We call it sunrise. Yeah, upside down in sunset. Brown one, we call it moon. You see the brown one is moon, and then the middle one is like this one, just shape. We call it diamond. Then all this lantern, after making, it's foldable.
The following morning, we made our way back into town to take a boat ride. We went upriver for about half an hour, taking in the sights on both sides of the river. The Thu Bon River flows through the Thu Bon Valley, which was the center of the Champa culture until the Vietnamese conquest in 1471. Today, there are dozens of boat operators taking tourists up and down the river and are one of Hoi An's main tourist attractions. There, you can see a new resort under construction. After a 30-minute cruise upriver, we stopped at a small dock to transfer to the famous round boats for a paddle up a small stream. We transferred to these three-person small boats, which are called thang chai or coracle, so we could explore one of the narrow streams nearby. Here we are, passing another group of tourists who were finishing their explorations. They came out alive, so we felt good following in their footsteps. Special, each one of those segments comes out, you can eat them. Here we are passing a grove of water coconut trees. Those clumps are made up of dozens of individual segments, and once separated and cut open, they have a small, fleshy center which tastes like a mild coconut. Here is the head of the boating family cutting open one of the rock-hard segments and giving us the translucent, fleshy center to eat.
ngon này. Ở đây có cái dừa nó non bắp.
Kind of like a coconut texture and flavor. Thank you. The boaters had made some origami-like insects for us using palm fronds, folded and intertwined to make them resemble a grasshopper and a flower. Heading back to the main boat, the old woman asked me to help her row the little coracle back. After I climbed back onto the main boat, Saxon wanted to go for a spin on the coracle boat. We stopped at the boat owner's home for a nice relaxing lunch, surrounded by lush vegetation. We took a different route back as the boat captain wanted to show us his father's house and meet his wonderful elderly father. It was quite a treat to see a typical Vietnamese home from the inside. The father, seen here sitting in the background, was an expert net casting fisherman, having won some prizes and certificates for his skills. Back on the boat, we headed out to the river so Father could show us his prize-winning casting technique.
Hello. Are you ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
This time, he only caught a tiny little fish, so we decided to throw it back.
behind the scene. 2, 3. Woo!
We bade farewell to father and made our way back to town. Afterwards, we walked around town for a bit, checking out the local shops, and in the evening, we went and had dinner with a local family who work with our tour company in providing authentic food to travelers.